The News Watch never stops. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
Good morning, 42 degrees with some rain in the city at 10:40. I'm Kevin Rincon. Here's what's happening. This morning, Iran fighting back, launching missiles at U.S. bases in the region. At Israel, an airport in Azerbaijan was bombed. Among the many reacting to the war, the Archbishop of New York. A firefighter was injured trying to put out the flames at a construction site overnight in Queens. It took 2 hours to get that fire under control. Another rental rip-off hearing will be held today, this one in Long Island City.
Some tenants live in unlivable situations, quite honestly.
Tenant groups say they're hopeful the administration will help with much-needed changes. It's not quite the big gulp, but Duncan is out with a bucket of coffee. Health Secretary RFK Jr. is not thrilled about it. The World Baseball Classic is now underway. Team USA will be on the field in Houston tonight against Brazil. Right now, lots of rain. We are expecting it to stay that way for a little bit. Much colder than it's been, a high of just 42. We're pretty much there. 10:41, let's get you to where you need to go with Karen Stewart.
We've got wet road conditions out there, have had them all during morning rush hour. The eastbound BQE even has flooding at the Brooklyn Bridge right now in the right and centers. That's why the eastbound BQE is backed up down onto the inbound Gowanus from back at Fort Hamilton Parkway. Now, the right and centers that are flooded out on the BQE east of the Brooklyn Bridge are passable. You just have to use a lot of caution there. New Jersey, we got 17 back, southbound Industrial Avenue in Woodridge. All traffic lanes were blocked with an accident. It's been cleared. Westbound 22, however, east of Springfield Avenue in Springfield. All lanes blocked there because of a power outage. Traffic is being detoured. Your alternate is 78. Speaking of a power outage, we've got the Gladstone branch of NJT rail service suspended in both directions for that reason between Summit and Gladstone. And as we take a check of Long Island, northbound Wantagh Parkway at exit W7, we have an accident in the left. Southern State westbound construction between exits 23 and the Cross Island Parkway. So that's a long stretch worth of construction right there. Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
On day 6 of the war, Iran is fighting back. Today it launched a new wave of attacks against Israel, American bases in the region, and even going after some neighboring countries that have been long immune to violence from Iran.
Overnight, the airport in Azerbaijan struck. NATO saying it intercepted an Iranian ballistic missile over Syria that was heading for Turkey. Iran denying they fired it. One young anti-government activist in Tehran bravely speaking out.
It is very, very dangerous outside.
We're not naming her to protect her identity.
Ian Panel reporting. So far, more than 1,200 people have been killed in Iran in the fighting. More than 70 in Lebanon, as Israel has been going after Hezbollah targets in that country. And about a dozen people have died in Israel. One country that has plenty of experience with Iran's drone missile technology is Ukraine. That's because Iran supplied tens of thousands of them to Russia since it invaded Ukraine 4 years ago. A number of countries have been working with Ukraine to figure out how to best defend against them. President Zelensky says they've talked to the leaders of the UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, Jordan, and Kuwait in just the last couple of days. Here at home, the Senate tried and failed to stop the military action in Iran. Today, the House will vote on a separate war powers resolution. The top Democrat on the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Congressman Gregory Meeks, says Donald Trump's not a king. And if he thinks war with Iran is in our national interest, he must come to Congress and make the case. As we wait to see the results of that vote later today, there are many hoping to see an end to the fighting. Among them, religious leaders like Pope Leo. He says he is praying God will help world leaders renounce war. Says peace is not built with mutual threats or death-dealing arms. Our Glenn Chuck at St. Pat's hearing from the new Archbishop, Ron Hicks.
As the war in Iran escalates, prayers here at the 7 a.m. Mass, Archbishop Hicks among those praying for an end to the violence in the Middle East.
And a young lady from California had said she had never been here before. She came in this morning because of the fact she's so concerned about what's happening. Do you expect maybe that the church will draw people in during times like this? Or?
The church is where you need to be at times like this, and at all times. It's coming together as a people united following Christ and his mission, which is a mission of justice, which is a mission of peace. I'd expect there are going to be more people. If it triggers them, it's beautiful.
He's asking for the political leaders involved to choose the path of peace over division. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Wins, 92.3 FM, St. Patrick's Cathedral.
There was a fire early this morning in Queens. The FDNY called to 70th Street in Glendale. They tell us one firefighter suffered minor injuries. The flames were coming from the top floor of a 2-story vacant building under construction. It took over 100 first responders to get things under control. They were out there for a few hours. Still no word on what caused that fire. It's not often you get tenants dealing with bad landlords in the city who feel hopeful. But many say that's how they're feeling now that Zohran Mamdani is mayor. His administration hosted the first rental ripoff hearing in Brooklyn last week. It wasn't necessarily smooth sailing, but the city says 450 people signed up for the first back-to-back sessions, and today another hearing is scheduled to happen in Long Island City. Yesenia Alvarez is with the Queens Tenant Coalition.
There's cause for optimism. He clearly empathizes and understands the plight of tenants and New Yorkers as a whole. And with the rent freeze, I think we're moving in the right direction.
She says it's her hope rents may even get rolled back at some point. Landlord groups not thrilled with these hearings. The small property owners of New York called them City Hall-sponsored anti-landlord events. A public school teacher in the Bronx arrested, charged with sexually abusing a minor. Sources tell us the victim is a 16-year-old student and that the alleged abuse happened at a public school. We reached out to the DOE for comment. We're waiting to hear back. 48-year-old Stephen Schnee is facing multiple charges, including forcible touching, sexual abuse, and harassment. Dunkin', it's out with a bucket of iced coffee. The thing is huge, and one of the few places you can find it is at shops up in New England. Health Secretary RFK Jr., not thrilled about it.
Kennedy issued this challenge to Dunkin' and Starbucks.
Show us the safety data that show that it's okay for a teenage girl to drink an iced coffee with 115 grams of sugar in it.
Massachusetts Democratic Governor Maura Healey responded in a tweet, "Come and take it." Yasmin Kari visits a Dunkin' in Boston every morning.
Thank you.
Her message to RFK Jr.?
Don't try it.
She says she's not worried about the sugar content in her iced coffee with cream, blueberry, and butter pecan.
It's my pick-me-up for the day.
Michael Wallace reporting from oversized cups of coffee to an oversized ballroom. An architect and board member on the National Trust for Historic Preservation says President Trump's White House ballroom project is way too big, should be scaled back. It's one of a number of changes being suggested by David Scott Parker, who spoke with the AP. He says in the most basic terms, everything is inflated, saying if approved, the project would have a negative impact on one of the country's most important and most identifiable historic homes anywhere in the country. Today, the National Capital Planning Commission, a key federal agency, will meet and vote on whether to approve the 90,000 square foot project. A separate federal panel, the U.S. Commission of Fine Arts, approved the project at its meeting last month. More than 3 decades after winning their last statewide race, Texas Democrats are again daring to hope. And the hope is based in part on voter turnout. Among Democrats, it was historically high for Tuesday's Texas primary.
With some votes still being tabulated, James Tallarico is extending an olive branch to his challenger in the Democratic Senate primary and hoping to court the votes of Jasmine Crockett supporters.
We're done being pitted against each other. That old politics is dying.
Meanwhile, in the knockdown, drag-out Republican primary pitting Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton against incumbent Senator John Cornyn, President Trump says he'll make an endorsement soon, writing on Truth Social that the primary contest, quote, must stop. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Overnight, the World Baseball Classic officially got underway. Australia beat Chinese Taipei in a game played in Tokyo. Later today, Team USA will return to the field.
Aaron Judge will captain a loaded U.S. roster at the World Baseball Classic. The Americans are chasing their first title since 2017. The tournament opened Thursday at the Tokyo Dome, then moves into games in Houston, Miami, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Logan Webb, Tarek Skubal, Paul Skeens, and Nolan McLean are lined up to start on the mound for the U.S. Japan, led by Shohei Ohtani, enters as defending champions with Yoshinobu Yamamoto starting Friday. The Dominican Republic brings a star-heavy lineup. Australia debuted top amateur draft pick Travis Bazzana. I'm Gethin Coolbaugh.
Team USA takes on Brazil. First pitch, 8 o'clock Eastern time. The baby monkey and his plushie that went viral, no more. They grow up fast. The story in a moment. 10:51, let's get you to where you need to go with Karen Stewart.
We got wet roads. Please be very careful out there. We've also got a power outage in New Jersey. Westbound 22, all lanes, they blocked all lanes at Springfield Avenue in Springfield because of a power outage in town. Traffic is being detoured there. Your alternate is going to be Route 78. The visibility is starting to reduce a little bit in some spots. It might be a little dicey across the area of bridges, so just watch out for that. Traveling to Long Island, Wantagh Parkway. Delayed northbound at W7 Ocean Parkway. Accident. The left lane is blocked as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels. We're getting there. The inbound George Upper's 30. The low is 20. From the Palisades, it's 15. The inbound Lincoln's 25. The Holland is 30 from the Skyway. 25 from the Newark Bay Extension. And we had flooding on the eastbound BQE at the Brooklyn Bridge in the Ryan Centers. And it has banged us out all the way down from Fort Hamilton Parkway on the inbound side of the Gowanus Expressway. Karen Stewart, 1010 wins at 92.3 FM.
A check of the AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Kevin, the steadiest of the rain is just about to hit the city to the east at this hour, but that doesn't mean we're done with the rain. There'll still be some light rain and drizzle at times into the afternoon hours, and temperatures won't budge. We're at 42, and we're going to stay there pretty much all the rest of the day. Overnight tonight, another period of rain that will taper to drizzle late tonight. Will lead to more flooding on streets and in poor drainage areas. Tonight's low 37. Gets kind of breezy, too. Tomorrow, an overcast, damp, chilly day with a bit of drizzle at times, particularly during the morning hours. Our high again only 42. Some drizzle at times tomorrow night and into Saturday morning. It stays cloudy Saturday afternoon with temperatures late in the day getting to 49. Then we go into the 50s at night, and that sets us up for a mild finish to the weekend on Sunday as clouds finally break for some sun. Sunday's high could get to 62. Right, light rain and 42 in Central Park. Humidity 96%. The wind northeast at 6. Repeating the current temperature 42. Temperature will stay nearly steady at about 42 in Midtown. I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg on New York's weather station 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
A famous baby monkey growing up and growing up fast. So much so he's ditching the stuffed animal that made him famous.
Punch, the orphaned macaque at a zoo near Tokyo, appears to be outgrowing his plush monkey pal. Not long after viral video triggered a run on the IKEA stuffed animal, it seems Punch has cast his toy aside. New images show him climbing on the back of another monkey, sitting with adult animals and allowing them to groom him and hug him. One fan who traveled from Osaka to visit Punch at the Ichikawa State Zoo said it's good to see him grow up. He was abandoned by his mom after birth. Zookeepers gave him the stuffed monkey to train him to cling, a skill newborn macaques need to survive. Deborah Rodriguez for 1010 Wins.
This weekend, the return of F1, the season opening race. The Australian Grand Prix is this weekend. It's going to welcome the addition of Cadillac, new and familiar faces on the grid. The cars themselves are different. The changes, they're proving to be a lot for Aston Martin. Its team principal says the shaking caused by the new power units is so bad on the steering wheel that drivers could suffer permanent nerve damage. Fernando Alonso, Lance Stroll, they haven't been able to get that many laps in practice because of it. The team principal says Alonso can't do more than 25 consecutive laps without risking permanent nerve damage in his hands. Stroll can't do more than 15. The race this weekend, 58 laps. They have 3 practice rounds before qualifying to figure it out. Time now for Bloomberg Money Watch.
Kevin, competition has been ramping up among the supermarkets to grab spending from cost-conscious shoppers who are looking to stretch every dollar. So grocery giant Kroger says it's working on improving the customer experience to get more folks in the door. The company has rolled out a few things, including the reintroduction of paper coupons after listening to older customers who are not as digitally savvy. Turning to trading, stocks are seeing big losses. High energy costs continue to fuel inflationary worries. The Dow right now is tumbling 661 points in trading. The S&P 500 falling 33. I'm Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Money Watch on 1010 Wins at 92.3 FM.
WINS FM in HD1 New York.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
More people get their news from 1010 Wins than from any other radio station in the nation. Phil Pilato's our service aide. Justin Schrager's at the editor's desk. I'm Kevin Rincon.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning. We've got some rain falling. It's 42 degrees in Manhattan at 11 o'clock. I'm Linda Lopez, and here's what's happening. The U.S. and Israel continuing to batter Iran with airstrikes for a 6th day, with Israel saying its strikes have destroyed Iran's missile storage and launch sites. A rally today at City Hall as a hearing gets underway looking at the amount of cooperation the NYPD and Department of Correction gave ICE under former Mayor Eric Adams. Governor Hochul and Mayor Mamdani at a shelter in Manhattan today highlighting their investments in New York's child care. Britney Spears has been arrested in California for driving under the influence. She's also already been released. And ever wonder what happens to that luggage that never makes it back to its owner? We've got that story coming up. 1010 Winds AccuWeather, cloudy and rainy today. Rain and drizzle pretty much on and off, and we stay right around 42 degrees. Winds News Time, 11:01. Let's get you where you need to go. Here's Karen Stewart.
All right, let's see what we've got out there for you. We've got flooding going on in Brooklyn, that's for sure. It's eastbound on the BQE over the Brooklyn Bridge. It's in the right and centers. Both are passable. You just can't hit them at too fast of a clip there. We are delayed back to Fort Hamilton Parkway on the inbound Gowanus Expressway right now. In Queens, we've got the Grand Central westbound, delayed at 169th Street with a broken down vehicle in the right. If you're traveling in the Bronx, we've got the southbound Deegan at 138th Street with an accident in the right there. And New Jersey, we're dealing with a power outage and all lanes closed on 22 west east of Springfield Avenue in Springfield because of it. Traffic is being detoured there. Follow it. Your alternate is Route 78. And as we take a look at what we see on Long Island's Big Three, westbound Southern State construction between 23 and the Cross Island Parkway. Westbound LIE roadwork from 49 to 41, and the Northern State is in very nice condition. Traffic in transit, Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM.
The U.S. and Israeli attacks on Iran continue to escalate. Israel now saying its latest waves of airstrikes on Tehran have destroyed Iran's missile storage and launch sites. But U.S. Central Command says the number of return missile attacks from Iran has dropped nearly 90%. More than 1,200 people have been killed since the strikes began on Iran, more than 70 in Lebanon, around a dozen in Israel. 6 American service members have also been killed. And we're hearing from the family members today of some of those Americans who were lost.
Captain Cody Cork's family says